Hey, I've got a good one for you guys today. We're gonna make some cookies and cream cookies. These guys are huge, loaded with Oreos, stuffed with white chocolate chips. You are going to absolutely love these. Let's go ahead and make them. All right, I'm gonna start this recipe off with 1 cup, which is 2 sticks of butter. This came straight from my refrigerator. We want it to be cold. We are not looking for a melted or a softened butter like a lot of cookie recipes call for. I'm gonna go ahead and cube this up, and then I'm gonna throw it in the stand mixer. So I'm gonna kind of cube this up in 1/2 tablespoons. So I'm gonna do this to both sticks of butter. Like I said, cold from the fridge. And then we're gonna go ahead and weigh out our sugars. We need brown sugar and we need white sugar. And then we're gonna cream this together for a couple minutes, and then we're going to add some more ingredients. So this one's pretty easy, honestly. Cube it up, got this, okay. Perf. Throw all this into the stand mixer. And now we're going to weigh out our ingredients. I've told you guys in recipes before, I like to weigh ingredients instead of just measuring them out by dry and liquid measuring cups. When it comes to baking, I think it makes things a lot more accurate, and the final product that you get, whatever you're making, is a little bit more consistent. So we're going to weigh out our brown sugar and our white sugar. My scale is on, it's set in grams, so we're gonna start by weighing out our brown sugar, and we need 100 grams of brown sugar. Almost there. Okay, perfect. 100 grams brown sugar. So I weighed out 100 grams of brown sugar, which equals about 1/2 cup, and now I'm gonna do my white sugar. So now I need 240 grams of my white granulated sugar, which is gonna equal about 1 cup. So 240 grams is what we're looking for. Almost there. Right on the money, perf. So before I add my sugars that I weighed out, I already put in my 2 sticks of butter into my stand mixer, and I wanna go ahead and get this started to kind of rough it up a little bit. So I'm gonna turn my stand mixer on low and let this kind of rough up for just a second, for about maybe 20 seconds or so, just to kind of break down that butter a little bit, and then I'm gonna add my sugars into there. All right, sugars going in. Got my white sugar and I've got my brown sugar. So we're gonna turn this on, and we're gonna set it to about medium speed, and we're gonna let it whip until we hit about 1 minute to 2 minutes. We're just looking for consistency at this point. I'll show you kind of what we're looking at when we get there. I have had my stand mixer going for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. I've just been kind of spinning this until I don't see any butter chunks at all. I'm not trying to necessarily whip this, but I am trying to make sure we don't have any butter chunks at all. So now that I'm done with this phase, I'm gonna go ahead and add my eggs and my vanilla. So I've got 2 eggs here that I'm gonna crack into a bowl before I put them in the stand mixer to make sure we don't have any eggshells in there. Let's do 1. I'm gonna give that a quick spin just to kind of get it mixed up a tiny bit, and then I'm gonna add the second one. All right, let's add number 2. Into the pate, number 2. Spin that for a second, and then I'm gonna add vanilla. Okay, my recipe calls for about a tablespoon of vanilla. You know how I feel about vanilla. Your girl loves vanilla, so I'm gonna be adding a healthy amount. I would say that is a heaping tablespoon. We'll whip that up for a second, and then we're gonna start working on our dry ingredients. I'm gonna scrape down my edges real fast, spin it one more time, and then we're gonna gear towards our dry ingredients. Only a few more things and this is halfway done. So now we need to gear towards our dry ingredients. So I need 450 grams of just plain old AP flour. That's gonna equal about 3 cups if you're not weighing this out, but 450 grams is what I need exactly. So let's see how close we can get to that. There's 350, we're getting there. Ooh, a little too much. Okay, 450 on the dot, we'll take it. All right, and then I need to add some baking soda and I need to add some cornstarch. All right, I'm gonna add baking soda now. I cleared out my scale. We need 9 grams, which is about a teaspoon and a half. So there's 5 grams, 6, 7. There's 9, right on the dot. Time for cornstarch. So we need 12 grams of cornstarch, and that is gonna equal about a tablespoon. So let's weigh this out. We're looking for 12 grams. Once you get used to weighing ingredients, baking, I promise you, you'll never go back to just weighing things out with dry measuring cups again. This makes it so easy and so consistent. Your baked goods will be even better than ever, I promise. Okay, and I have some kosher salt here. I need 9 grams of salt. 9 grams, which we said a couple seconds ago is about a teaspoon and a half. 9, looking for 9. All right, one more pinch. We got 9. Okay, there we go, moving on. I'm gonna give my dry ingredients a stir to kind of get all that baking soda, salt, and that cornstarch mixed up into my flour, and then we're gonna start putting it in our stand mixer bit by bit. So the trick is with this recipe, you don't want to over mix your flour into this. You wanna add flour and mix it long enough until it is just combined. We are not looking for an overly mixed dough. Overly mixed doughs make tough ingredients, and that is not what we want. All right, I got my mixture of dry ingredients. Let's slowly add this. And I made the mistake of wearing black today. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, working with flour or powdered sugar or anything like that, wearing black, bad decision. Let's see how much of a mess I make. Stay in there. All right, there's the first round. I'm gonna do another round. Barely incorporate that and drop another round. Like I said, we are not trying to overmix this. We do not want tough cookies. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the rest of it in. We're gonna spin it for maybe 20 seconds, see how she looks, and then go from there. All right. We'll scrape down our edges here in just 1 second to make sure we don't have anything on the sides or the bottoms. All right, give it a little scrape. Y'all, we're almost there. This actually looks really good. She be looking good. I'm gonna call it. Okay, let's scrape this off the paddle attachment here. And then we're gonna incorporate our white chocolate chips and we're gonna incorporate our Oreo cookies, but we're gonna do that by hand because I don't wanna get them all crunched and crumbled up if I put them in the stand mixer with the paddle. So I'm going to put some gloves on and I'm gonna incorporate those cookies and those chippies by hand. So we'll weigh those out too. Okay, how's that look? She's looking good. Barely incorporated, still a little on the crumbly side, but that's what you want. We're gonna finish the mixing by hand. Okay, set you to the side. All right, white chocolate chips. I need 235 grams or 1 1/4 cup. So I'm weighing this out in grams like I have pretty much everything else for this recipe. So I'm gonna go for 235. Oh, that was perfect. All right, I'm gonna add those into the pot. Now the fun stuff comes. We got Oreos. We need 12 Oreos. We're gonna crush these up by hand. We want little pieces and big pieces. So I'm gonna do 4 at a time. I'm just gonna crush these up by hand, and then I'll crush them up a little bit more while I'm trying to mix this up. Okay, so there's 4. 8. We're going 12. 4 more. All right, I'm going to glove up and get the rest of this all mixed together. Okay, I'm gonna start mixing all this deliciousness together. We're gonna make sure every bite of these cookies have a bit of Oreo and a bit of that white chocolate chip. I'm just gonna kind of keep spinning my bowl to keep mixing this evenly by hand. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna weigh out these cookies. I want these to be big, fat cookies. So I'm going to do 4-ounce cookie dough balls. And then we're going to let them rest in the freezer for a couple hours. And when you rest things and let things chill when you're making doughs, it really slows the spread process. So my cookies aren't going to spread a tremendous amount when I bake them off. I want them to stay nice and fat, not spreadable. All right, we're not looking for thin cookies. We're looking for nice fat cookies. All right, I think that looks pretty good. And we're gonna start weighing these out, and I'll show you how to place them on your parchment lined baking sheets so they don't spread in together. All right, I'm gonna go switch this to ounces, and I'm looking for, like I said, a 4-ounce cookie dough balls. So this is kind of a trial and error type thing. That's 6. We're just gonna have to play with this kind of as we go along. Okay, perfect, 4-ounce. I don't want these perfectly rounded. I want them to be kind of rough around the edges a little bit. So there's 1. And my method for placing cookies on parchment sheets, cookie sheets, is I always like to do the 2-1-2 method. So it gives them enough space to breathe, and if they do spread a little bit, they're not gonna spread into each other. Here we go, 4. There's my 1. And then we're gonna do 2 more on this cookie sheet, and then we're gonna get the other one and do the other 5 on that one. These are gonna be so good. This is a new recipe that I've stumbled across, and boy, people are kind of going nuts over this one. My high school kids, I can't get these made fast enough for them to start eating them. They're begging me to have one before they even come out of the oven. Okay, tray number 1. Perfect. And I have light colored baking sheets here. I like to use light colored baking sheets as opposed to dark baking sheets. I feel like they don't burn the bottoms of things as easily as the dark ones do. So now I'm trying to convert all of my baking sheets over to these light colored ones. I really like Nordic ware, but I'm trying to experiment too, because Nordic ware is really expensive. It's good stuff, but it is expensive. So I ended up getting 12 cookie dough balls total. So I'm going to consolidate these probably onto one tray because we don't have that much room in our freezer. And I'm going to freeze these for probably about 2 hours. I'm gonna get them back out. We're gonna preheat the oven to 375, and then I'm gonna bake them between 15 to 18 minutes or just until the edges start to brown. We do not want to over bake these, but we gotta try our cookie dough. We did good. All right, to the freezer. All right, I just got these out of the freezer. They've been chilling for probably about 2 hours. I've got my oven preheated to 375. The cool thing about these, this cookie dough recipe is that you can make this and then stick it in the freezer, and this will last. You can freeze these overnight. You can freeze these for a couple months in advance. So however long you want to hold on to these will be good if you just get them straight out from the freezer into the oven. So 375. I'm gonna bake these for about 15 to 18 minutes. Like I said before, we wanna pull them when we just see a brown around the edge. You do not wanna over bake these, all right? These are supposed to be a nice soft cookie. We don't want this to get overly crunchy on us. So let's get them in the oven. I'm excited. All right, my timer's got about 30 seconds left on it. They've been in there for about 15 minutes. I know they're done because they're browning up. These guys just came out. I'm gonna go get that second tray. Let's go. Oh, perfect. And would you look at that? Nice golden brown on those dudes. I'm gonna let these kind of cool down for a second, and then we're gonna do that famous cookie break and show you guys how we did. Those look awesome. All right, look how beautiful these little babies turned out. They smell incredible, they look incredible, but now we're gonna do the famous cookie break and see how we did on the inside. So let's break these open and see how they look. Ooh! That looks so good. Look at those white chocolate chips in there melted. Even the dogs are excited about this one. You hear those barks? All right, we gotta try it. I don't know which side to try. How about this one? All right. If you like Oreos, that's your dude right there. I'm telling you, these are easy and absolutely amazing. You will love these, and so will anybody else that you give these to. Make somebody's day with these. You want somebody to be friends with you? Make them some cookies and cream cookies, because I promise you, you'll have all kinds of friends after this. All right. Thank you for watching. We're going to wrap this dude up. I appreciate you liking and subscribing, and hit the notification bell. Let me know down in the comments what you want to see me make next, and we will see you next week on Farmhouse Eats. Bye.